Okay, so there's been a bit of this going on lately as far as videos and stuff like that, and maybe it's whatever, but I feel like we've all kind of progressed from the point where we expect everybody to be like each other, and I have to say that as far as I've been in customer service for almost 20 years now. And I obviously have my shave, but one thing that they've been really adamant about my entire customer service career, and for some reason especially, and I don't know why, but especially in the automotive industry, when I worked at O'Reilly, um, they were really adamant about you can't have tattoos, you can't have colored hair, you have to have naturally colored hair. And uh, all I ever wanted was my blue hair. Even just the little tips, that made me happy. I'm a little bit of a weird person. I'm a little bit of extra. Um, but one thing that I noticed, and like I have that, that they said I couldn't have. This, they said I couldn't have because it's not a natural color. Because this is not a natural color. What I've realized working for O'Reilly is that 9 times out of 10, people don't want to walk up to that chick that's clean cut. They're already really wary about a woman being in the automotive industry in the first place. That when they see a woman in the automotive industry that looks like a pencil, they don't bother. They don't want to walk up to her at all. And so when it comes down to pardon me, we'll just say when it comes down to the question of my ability to do my customer service, which I've been amazing at. I can get people to talk to me that never talk to anybody when they walk in. I think it's weird that they put a standard on what color your hair has and whether or not you have a tattoo. I mean, like, this is a memorial tattoo for my father. The year he was born, the year he died. Like, I can explain that to anybody and they're fine. I can have whatever hairdo I want and nobody fucking cares. Why does corporate care? That's one of the big reasons right now why I work for a very, very, very small company getting paid $12 an hour instead of the $15 an hour I deserve. Just because I'm not willing to mash myself into a standard that they want me to have. And it's weird because none of us in the automotive industry are like that. We're all extra, you know? We're all... And I hate to put us into a box, but there's no man out there who works at a shop who's like, I'm gonna go to the chick who's clean cut. I wish that was the case, but it never got me any extra sales. And if they don't want to show up while you're there, like, yeah, my personality can make up for a fucking lot. Because I can be what I need to be. That's my job. I'm not an actor. Because I can't pretend. I'm a crap liar. But when it comes down to, I don't know, I'm incapable of being somebody that I'm not. And I did it for 20 fucking years, and I was miserable. And I don't understand, if you're taking the job that nobody wants, if you're taking the job that people are angry with you when the power's out, people are angry with you when you don't have their part, people are angry with you when you can't run their card even though they don't have enough money for it. Why is the big worry what color my hair is? Why is the big worry whether or not I have a tattoo on my wrist that is significant to when my dad died? Like, I'm not gorgeous without makeup, I'm sorry. But I don't understand why that makes such a big difference in the way that we sell things, you know? The place that I'm at right now, they may be paying me $12 an hour, but they respect who the fuck I am, and I'm willing to work there because they don't want me to change who I am. If they wanted me to change, I would be the fuck out of there. And pardon the profanities, whatever. But I would be gone. And that makes it hard for me to find a job. I'm not gonna lie. But in a world where everybody's so finally willing to accept people for who they are, you know, there's sex differences, there's relationship differences, there's oh god, I can't think of the word. Psychological and societal differences. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't understand why the big to-do is with a chick's hair. Like, I'm a nice person. My customers love me. And when I worked for O'Reilly, they got the right part. And it was new. And it was warrantyable. You weren't replacing the same part over and over and over again. So when you're talking about how customer service has to do with what a person looks like, I'm sorry, but we stopped giving a shit whether or not we were training our kids to be able to deal with society in the first place. Like, they don't know how to change a tire. They don't know how to change their oil. They don't know how to get from one point to another without fucking help. But at the same time, we're not training anybody to help them. So what are we doing? We're putting them to the side for the sake of a future that doesn't exist. We're teaching our kids not to spell. We're teaching our kids that math has to be harder than what it is. Like, sorry, new math is bullshit. When I was a kid, they were like, simplify the problem. That worked for my ADHD brain. That was fine. When you're overcomplicating it, there's no reason why you have to go through 13 steps to get to the number 13. That's fucking bullshit. When your sixth grader can't spell the word milk, it's bullshit. I mean, they're upping the taxes this year in the place where I live for education. And all I can think is, fuck, I hope they can spell. Because they're not even bothered with it anymore. They're just willing to let them go. Pardon me. But my point is that we're putting all of this value on something that doesn't even exist anymore. And we're throwing all this extra effort into something that doesn't need to. Why would we oversimplify a problem? Why would we overcomplicate a problem? And that's part of my ADHD brain too. I can't just think of the fucking word. But why would we overcomplicate a problem? Nobody overcomplicates a problem if they can help it. It's a stupid situation to go into. They aren't building people who want to make anything better. They're building a whole bunch of people who just want to survive. But then they're saying, hey, you have to be part of this cookie cutter program in order to survive. You have to be this cookie cutter person in order to survive. And meanwhile, all of society is saying, hey, let's promote our individuality. But nobody actually wants that in a professional position. Or at least they make that very clear. They don't want our individuality. They want us to be able to parrot the same line that they're telling everybody else. One of the things that I found out working for an automotive store was that there's a whole lot of people out there that are just trying to get the right part. And all they teach you now, because not when I started, but now, is how to look it up on the computer. And if it doesn't have that information for you, then you're lost. Sorry. When I started, it was catalogs, and it was understanding that a car could have a part from one year to another, even though it was disconnected. And I've been in customer service for 20 years. And people treat you like crap. And they treat you like everything's your fault in the first place. You know, the least you could do is give them their individuality, seeing as you're throwing them into a box full of matches anyway. I mean, we're people just like everybody else. You don't have to look like a blue-collar person to be a person. To do your job right, and to know what your job is, and to know that your job is valuable. So, pardon me, I'm not doing this on a makeup tutorial or anything. It's just me. And I'm not pretty right now, and I don't care. But I'm different. But I'm smart. And people devalue me just because of the way I look. And it's not the customers who devalue me. It's the employers. The customers look at me and they say, she knows her shit. I don't know how to defend that at all. I don't. I've been in this for so long. I've sold clothes. I've sold automotive parts. I've sold food. I've packaged eggs. I've done the dirtiest fucking work. You know who doesn't care what the fuck you look like? The packaging crew. Nobody cares. But at the same time, they treat them like shit. They're not, in Utah, they're not entitled to a lunch. They're not entitled to a break. They can work 14 fucking hours and then another 2 hours cleaning the machines. And they'll still tell you what to wear. And all you're trying to do is get through the last 2 hours of your shift while you clean the stupid machines that package the eggs and clean them off. And that is a gross fucking job. I've done it. It sucks. Working in a rural area like this? I'm not going to go on about that, but they don't really pay attention to anything anymore. It's all corporation and completion. And if you don't complete, you're eliminated. And you have no value to them, even though you have knowledge. And you were trained by the people who have the knowledge. It doesn't... What's happening to our working man these days, you know, because the same thing's happening in the shops. Working, or talking as somebody who sold parts, is married to a mechanic. You know, it has been a nightmare to find a job that is not willing to try to kill my husband over their bottom dollar. They don't care. The last job my husband had, he ended up in the hospital like 2-3 times with a mild heart attack, and the first response from his boss was to get upset about it. So, what do we really value? And we really need to put that under a microscope these days, because I'm starting to get worried. The people who care about their jobs, who care about knowing the information to get them from point A to point B, they treat them like not even second-class citizens, but we're like third or fourth, you know? We're that bottom barrel that nobody thinks about. And, I'm really worried at this point, because we're not teaching our children to make a difference anymore. And we're not teaching our children any actual life skills anymore. We're teaching them to fear condiments. And that's okay. Like, balls up, dude. Balls up. It's fine. Like, that's what we do. We find some, if we have a phobia, we try to get over it. We don't be like, oh yeah, go ahead, make your whole life about that. We try to help them through that. What the fuck happened to us? That we're not trying to help anybody anymore. We're just like, yes, welcome to your hole. people can't afford homes, and when they do, they're getting buried in it. People can't just have their jobs without being told how they're supposed to live too, without being told when their days off are. Like, even at this point, I have a job that cares about me. I have a job that values me, finally. And I won't leave it because of that. But at the same time, I can't sit there and be like, hey, I need Thursdays off. It's, well, why the hell do you need that? But it's like that because we can't get any of our young folks to be willing to throw into a job anymore. We didn't teach them what commitment was. We didn't teach them what value of a work ethic was. They get angry because people want them to do stuff, but at the same time, like, value their individuality. They're willing to do what you want them to do, as long as you respect them as a person. So, yeah, none of our young kids want to work anymore. But that's because we don't even value them anymore. We don't teach them what value is. Pardon me. We don't teach them what value is. And I don't know, you can do the same job for 20 years in the same company and make a mistake and get fired, and all of a sudden you have to start over in this new world where nobody respects you. When you started, people respected you. My mom was a nurse. People respected her. She changed people's lives. She taught a man how to learn sign language when he didn't have any fingers. She escorted a woman home when she knew that she wasn't going to survive. But we don't teach people to be like that anymore. We teach them that no risk is worth the effort. And that's terrifying. Who's gonna run into that building when it's on fire? Who's gonna... I suppose that's how you find out who those golden people are. But if you don't ever teach them to do that, if you don't ever teach them that that's valuable, then what are we even really doing? We can show all these videos on YouTube of people being great people. Most of them are scripted. And that's a bit insulting. It's a bit insulting. Pardon. I have my vices. I'm old enough. But I may smoke a cigarette. I may have colored hair. I may have minimal tattoos. But I treat every person like they fucking matter. Every single person. Even if it's a mild expense to myself. I don't mind. Why is it so painful for everybody else to treat people like they matter? I'm sorry, it's a 25-minute video, but I suppose if you watch it all the way through, somebody needs to hear it. Love you guys. Bye.